What's up, guys? Kevin Lucas here, Corn Ferry Tour player. Part of the Porzak team. Started working with Adam about 6 months ago now, and just wanted to give you guys some tips and kind of have you look in my bag and see what I got going on. All right, guys, I play sponsored by Titleist. They're the #1 brand in golf for a reason. I've been with them for 4 years now. Absolutely like family to me, but let alone they make the best equipment out there, I think at least. Everybody knows the Vokey wedges. I play the SM8s. I play a 60 degree with 4 degrees of bounce, 56 degree with 8 degrees of bounce, a 52 with 12, and a 46 degree bent to a 47. I choose the raw finish. It's the Tour raw finish. If you can see, they're rusted and stuff. That's what we're looking for. We don't like to see the glare and whatnot, and it helps it get a little more bite on the ball with that little bit of rust. So they look used. I've only had these for 4 weeks. I usually get new wedges every 5 events, I would say, and then put some fresh ones in there, you know, because we're playing firm, fast greens every week, and we really want to get the ball to stop on a consistent dime. You know, what we're looking, if we separate the gap too much of when we get new wedges, then you're having to adjust to balls that are spinning more and going a little bit shorter because they're spinning. The less grooves you have on your wedges, the further they're going to go, but also the more they're going to float. I take pride in my wedge game. Adam loves my wedge game, and I've just really over the years loved playing flighted shots. Tiger Woods made a living, pretty substantial one, 100 and whatever million on the golf course, but he always talked about flighting his wedges, working everything from the front of the green towards the pin. And I think it's the absolute key to golf, and controlling flight and trajectory is what gets you pin high. And Tiger famously said the key to golf is being pin high. So I'll hit a little pitching wedge here, and I'll come out in a little lower flight window, say if the pin was middle, and it's on 15 paces from 130 yards, let's say, which is, you know, 3/4 wedge for me. I'm looking at landing that ball in that 125 range and letting it skip once up to the hole and kind of stop. I don't like something that flies to the hole and works back away from it. And I don't necessarily, unless the pin's up front, like to throw something behind the hole and work it back to it. It's harder to control that than it is to control a drop and stop. So I'll show you guys here. That ball probably got, coming out for most people's like 4-iron window.
Like, real quick, that's super sexy.
Yeah.
And it's those low flighted wedges that are sexy. What's the key to being able to hit it that flight? Because I see very few people who can hit that spin with that flight.
Look at it face on, if you would. So stand there. The biggest thing that people do is they come into the ball and they're trying to hit the ball with true loft. And if you look at this, ball's being hit low on the face. Now if you move the hands forward and you turn here, that ball's being hit higher on the face, being pinched, and I'm turning through it here. If you look, my chest is facing. I didn't let the hands go here. I stayed right here. And I didn't lose the face. The face turned over with my body. So I'm hitting it here, hands ahead, chest out in front.
Do you have one drill you could give the viewers?
A drill, like one-handed drill, a lot of times I tell people just hit like 40, 50-yard shots, one-handed, because you can't throw the right hand at it. My right hand's just along for the ride, as you see this wedge. Or you could even do this as a drill. I'll hit it. And see how I can take my right hand off. Club is out in front of me. Club head isn't flipped over this way. It isn't tossed like this and cupped in the left wrist. It's a flat left wrist. And that's what gets the ball to pinch the face and stay on those grooves. When you get the right hand throwing it, what the ball actually does, if you get it in slow-mo, is the ball rides up the face, and that's when you get the high floaters. You're trying to get this ball to stick that face, and it's gonna feel like it's on there longer. So the body works really hard, the hands hardly do anything, is the way I think about it.
Kevin, do you have different shafts on your wedges than you do your irons?
No, I don't. Some people do. They're the same. I just have them 5 grams heavier. That's it. Same shaft, same flex. I played S300. I always am checked out to play X100s, but I played the S300s for so long, and they're hard steps, so they're kind of in between an X100 and a stock S300.
What's hard step mean?
Hard step means that it's just it's less. There's less kick in it. There's less kick. So I've actually in my irons, and I'll show you guys my irons now. I play Titleist forged 718s. I have 2 brand new sets of the. I forget what the new ones they have. They came out. They just built 2 brand new sets for me, but I love these so much, and I've only had them for a year and a half now, and I don't know. It's hard to make changes in irons because irons, when especially blades, there's not new technology with it and stuff. You know, it's just they might change the shape just a tad or whatnot, and you get new grooves. But these shafts, I've actually been playing these same exact ones. You can see it's all worn out. I've been playing these for 8 years now. I get brand new shafts and my new clubs, and right away I see different spins and trajectories and stuff, and I can feel it and notice it. That just shows you how much golf and how much practice I play. As soon as we put the same shafts in the new heads, my windows start coming out exactly what I'm expecting and wanting. So actually when they build me new clubs, there's no reason for them to even send me a shaft, just send me heads because they're gonna be put right in there. So I'll hit a 7-iron for you guys. For me, a lot with the 7, with my mid irons and stuff, is you get to your 7-iron, you're not trying to flight them quite as much. You're just, not trying to tower them either if you don't have to. You're just trying to find a good medium flight window that's controlling the trajectory and the elements of what the ball is doing in the air, so you're taking variables out. But I like to draw my irons and fade my driver. I can fade my irons too if the pin's on the right and I need to. But my stock swing with a 7-iron is usually about 2-3 yard draw. I'm pretty comfortable with that. That's about a 2-3 yard draw. That's me not thinking, that's me just hitting a golf shot. So.
Sure, how do you hit a fade then?
So for a fade for me, say the pin's on the right, all I'm doing, it's Annika Sorenstam said this, that, she's one of the greatest of all time to do it, and she played the game so simply and so well. All I do for a fade is if my grip is stock right there, all I do is weaken my grip a half a knuckle, depending on how much I want to fade it. Now if I have the same look, club face is a little open, but I just set up just like that, and the club face opens just a tad with the same grip. And then from there, I just change my lines. Say I want a 5-yard fade, I change my lines. I like to swing from a neutral path, so I don't adjust the path too much. I just adjust where I'm aiming. And then with that weaker grip, we'll usually let it fall to the right. So we'll hit one here. And that was about a 3-yard fade. That would be money. Yeah, a little right wind, which it makes it even harder to hold it, to hold a fade with an iron. But the more loft you have, the harder it is to fade it, for sure. The harder it is to work the ball, period. But the less loft you have, the more the ball can turn.
What grips do you have?
I got these. They're the CP2 Wrap Golf Pride. I played chords my entire career, and I've had, grew up racing motocross and all that, and I just have some bad thumb injuries that I needed a softer grip that would take less pressure off my thumb and less compression on it. So it kind of absorbs a lot of the impact for me. So for my woods, I play a 18-degree TaylorMade M2, old school, bent 4 degrees flat. The thing's money. And I play the M2 Tour 3-wood 15-degree. And then
why is this one bent 4 degrees?
Because 5 woods tend to, off the rack, a standard 5 wood sits upright. It helps people get them in the air and turn them. I like them more flat. I don't want to see that toe up off the ground. I like to be able to fade my 5 wood, hit high soft shots into par 5s over water or something from 240 or whatnot, instead of, having to hit a draw or something. I can kind of butter a fade in there. My contract with Titleist is 10 clubs in their driver, so I have the lenience with my 3 and 5 wood to be able to play them. And guys on tour, you hear it all the time. Guy has his trusty 3 wood, whatnot. I'm no different.
3 woods are hard to find.
A good 3 wood, just people fall in love with them. Because if you're hitting a 3 wood off a tee, you're expecting to be in the fairway. So you don't you're really particular about what you're doing there. And then I have the Matrix Ozic 60 M4 black ties in those. They don't make them anymore. Some of the best shafts ever made. I don't know why they stopped making them, but neither here nor there. Nothing I can control. And then I play the TSI 3, 9 degree.
I think it looks pretty gangster.
This club is unreal.
Before,
and I actually, this is a cool thing. My buddy Brian Campbell, who plays on tour with me, drew a line on top of his face because his face is all black. So in drawing the line, if you look down, you can kind of see the squareness of the face, and it shows you, it's just more awareness of where the face is, which is pretty cool. So I just took a Sharpie and just drew a white line right on the top.
That's some player stuff, because a lot of the higher handicappers, the nuances, they'll just take it and hit it, But
right. It was, and when my buddy told, that's why I'm always learning. Brian's a great player, he's had his PGA Tour card before, and he's a great friend of mine and a good driver of the golf ball. So when he said it and I saw it, I was like, shoot, why don't I try that? And it looks great.
Somebody's gonna just have that
right. Somebody's gonna have it. But I have a Hazardous Smoke. It's the small batch. This is the tour one. Just probably one of the most popular shafts out right now on tour for sure. A lot of guys are hitting it. It's a 64 gram X extra stiff. But this new head Titleist, this TSI, is just an absolute game changer. The compression and feeling off it is unlike any driver I've ever hit. I didn't think their last driver was that way, but that's neither here nor there because that's long gone. As soon as they gave me this club, I hit one ball with it, and I'm like, best driver I've ever hit, which is pretty awesome for Titleist because they're more known for their irons and everything, and then now they're just making one of the best feeling drivers out there. So here, I'll hit one for you guys. I usually like to see but anywhere from a 3 to 5 yard fade with my driver. Don't like to miss it left. I had a little draw on it, but that'd be left side of the fairway. Wind off the right. Yeah, let me hit that one. I'd be okay with that. It's fine for me if I'm down the left side of the fairway. I'm all good, but I just don't like to see a ball that is running into the left rough. That's the ball that I could make a lot of money with. I need to do more of that on tour. And then lastly, guys, my putters.
You gotta talk to these
This is what people, for whatever reason, you don't know until you get on tour, I guess, you take it for granted. But both the same exact putter, 2 head covers. Tour Bulldog, Hothead Harry. Get your hands on one of them. Head covers would probably go for $700, something like that. I don't know. People are crazy. Amateurs want it because it says that. Yeah. But they're both. So I played an Odyssey putter that looked exactly like this for 7 years. And when I signed with Titleist, I basically, hey, make me a putter that looks and feels exactly like my old Odyssey. And it took them a couple years, and they finally made this one. And when I started, the first putt I rolled with it, I was just absolutely in love. And a big thing that I'm about, and you can see here's the black one, People love this one. This is kind of a one and only, timeless for tour use only. I've got 30-gram weights in it, but SSS, I think studio stainless steel. I don't know what it means, but the biggest thing that I truly believe, these putters, the softness off the face for not an insert for mill grind. The mill is super tiny mills, right? And my belief is if a ball is being hit with a putt, it's not being hit with that much force and that much speed. So when you have those deep mills, you're actually not softening the blow, you're hitting it with a solid piece of metal. When you have these super small, deep mills, it actually is compressing that metal just a little bit that gives it that poppy, soft feel. And that's been huge for me. That's really what I look for. Yeah, these putters, they're just, people absolutely love them for what they are. They're circle tees. I think this one would probably go for $5,000 on eBay if somebody gets their hands on it. It's, priceless to me. I'm never gonna sell them. But this putter, because it's black, has the white line on the back, it's super unique. I don't even know what it is, maybe 10 grand, but if you got a buyer that's willing to pay, somebody would probably pay 15 to 20 if they wanted it. Some rich amateur or something.
Why do you have a silver one and a black one?
The silver one is sandblasted, so it takes the glare out of it. They kind of do like a finish on it. And I really liked that when they did it, so then I had to make me a black one, and I just kind of wanted to see how much of that distraction it took away. That's what I'm looking for. I want to be focused on the golf ball, not the putter head. I don't want anything crazy with it. Don't need any looks. I just want a clean, traditional look. And they're literally identical putters. It's just a visual thing for me. Some weeks maybe I want the black one, some weeks I want the other one. It doesn't make any difference because they're both the same, but for me, visually, it can...
Glare or sun, like if it's an overcast week, you want like maybe the silver one's okay, but if it's super bright and 100 degrees, you go a black one or something, or...
Yeah, totally could be. For me, I'm just trying to figure out the pieces to put together the best possible golf I can get out of me. Yeah. And fortunate enough to be on tour and to work with, we have a semi-truck, Titleist truck out there every week. We have the ability to tinker with small little things like that, and we're always just trying to find that little edge. If it's 0.01 shots, that adds up, and if you do that throughout the bag constantly and really dial yourself in, you're gonna get the best golf out of yourself. So that's really what I'm trying to do. No rhyme or reason, but just might feel like this one's gonna give me a little edge this week. I do. They've come out with, I think, 2 different models since this one. It's an old TMB 718. I think it's at 20, what do we have it at? 22 degrees? 21, 22 degrees? I've had blade 4-irons before I go to my blades all the way to the 5-iron. There's just no point for me if I need a little more with the 4-iron, not quite a butter knife, and 4-iron usually you're attacking par 5s with. It's a club that I'm hitting into a lot of par 5s, long par 3s, but you want forgiveness, and I hit it off the center of the face a lot, but if the 4-iron's the hardest thing to hit off the center of the face, why not give myself a little more forgiveness? So at Kevin Lucas Golf 23 on Instagram, check it out. I post some cool stuff on tour with my buddies, and just trying to go win some golf tournaments, man. So if you guys want to see it, I'm going to win some tournaments coming up. So follow me and you guys will check it out. I've got all my Advil, got the Louis. These are practice badges every week. Every week they're a different color because of COVID. You got to get tested and whatnot. Shoot, I don't even know what's all in here, man. This could be, this could get me in trouble. No, it's in here. I have my sunscreen, rangefinder, yardage book, case from the Plantation Club, Sharpies, and chewing tobacco. Don't do that, kids. Titleist sent me this as a Christmas gift this last year. It's a cool little tea bag. I love it, leather. keep all my tees and my tees, ball markers, and divot tools in there. And then I play the Titleist Pro V1. I actually just switched to it. I was playing the Pro V1X my entire career, and I was playing with Steve Marino, a longtime PGA Tour player. We were playing a practice round together in Alabama, and he was talking about the new Pro V and how he switched to it and how all of his numbers and stuff were just awesome, and the windows, ball was coming out, and we have about the same club head speed. So in the practice round, I was like, dude, give me a ball. And just playing the practice round with it, and right away called my Titleist guy and I said, hey, we're switching, like, let's play the Pro V. And I'm glad I did. I think it's a better ball for me. It's a little softer around the greens and stuff, and you can dance it on the greens a little bit more, have a little more fun with it. That's about it. It's in my bag. I don't know what else would be in here. Pullovers, gloves. This is actually cool. So I was at this tournament in Knoxville, and these kids at the local Boys and Girls Club, as I'm registering, they wrote handwritten letters to us. Have a great round, hit them long and straight. Good luck at the Visit Knoxville Open. So all these little cards, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, can I have some of these? And the tournament director's like, yeah, take some, like nobody's taking any. And I actually got a hold of the people that ran the local Boys and Girls Club there in Knoxville, and I took my caddy over there and we spent an afternoon with the kids, and I thanked them for their letters. It was one of the coolest things the kids had done. Like it was to have that support, from these kids that don't even know who you are and whatnot. So I just wanted to go over and show my face and introduce myself and thank them. And they kind of showed me around their Boys and Girls Club, and it's awesome. And that's what this game is about. I mean, I do it to win golf tournaments, but the big reason is, inspire youth, inspire the world of tomorrow. And I think that's fulfilling and purposeful. And go win some golf tournaments in the meantime.
Okay, rapid round, real quick. Hardest thing about being on tour?
The hardest thing about being on tour, people say that. This is by far what people say, and that's the travel. The travel's crazy. I mean, I was gone for 3 months, and I was home for just 3 days, and now I'm here on the road in San Diego working with my coach, and it's the travel schedule's a grind, but it's kind of, you can't have one without the other. You can't be on tour without the travel, so it's just part of the game, and we learn to deal with it. And luckily the tour has deals with, airlines and rental companies that make our traveling a little bit easier. But I would say that's the hardest thing. And just the mental, the mental energy that you're expending week in, week out. You're just new city, new course every week, and you're trying to keep yourself as fresh as you can with trying to get the work in that you need to go win that week. So I wouldn't trade it for anything. I don't have a wife and kids right now. I can imagine the guys that do. It's tough, but it's a dream job. So, it's a dream job that, has some sacrifice, and nothing in this world that's good doesn't have sacrifice. So I love it.
Best thing about being on tour?
Best thing, my favorite thing about being on tour is having this platform to affect kids and people in a positive way, to put off this positive energy that these people look to you, they look up to you in your game and what you do, and they don't even know me as a person, but I have that opportunity on tour to make a lasting impression on a kid or someone that hopefully will go down with them, for the rest of their life, that is something positive. I love giving positive energy out there and being that person that, somebody remembers as, hey, that guy had good energy, that's the guy I want to be around, and that's the guy I want to be like. And I think if more of us were like that, more of us in this world, it would be great. But I love that part of it. And I love competing too. I mean, I'm playing against the best players in the world. I mean, there's nothing better to me than competing in a sport for a living. And that's just the coolest thing. You get to go out and put yourself up against 155 other guys every week and see who's going to come out on top. All right, guys, appreciate it. Appreciate you guys watching, checking out what's in the bag, learning a little bit about my game and myself. If you have any questions for me, just comment below, and keep following, keep inspiring, and keep that positive energy up.